Hey guys, how you doing? Uncle Bob Connor here once again with another video, and today we're going to be looking at the pretty cool Hellboy movie DVD complete collection. Um, Obviously coming from the Dark Horse comics, the character Hellboy. Never read them myself, I only ever see the films. I'm not a huge fan of the actual character Hellboy, but I do quite like the film and the character Hellboy. As I said, I'm not a massive fan, and as I say, I've never read the books or got much info on it. But as I said, I've seen the films multiple times. Quite enjoy them. Now, obviously, the first two that they made are, that's the first, and that is the second sequel to that. But the third is sort of like a reboot. Well, I'm pretty sure it's a reboot. I don't think it's continued. I'm pretty sure that they rebooted it. I'm sure it's not the third one. But however, when I'm watching it, I do include it, as the three, because when I do watch the franchises, I add, sometimes it's stuff that's not. Say for example, there was 2 or 3 films. Sometimes I add the rebooted make, just to add more to watch, just basically, even though it's not sort of. But I'll just say there's 3 in the franchise. But so anyway, obviously the first one, starring the main actor Ron Perlman as Hellboy, and obviously Selma Blair. And obviously Ron Perlman, been in Blade 2, Alien Resurrection, a couple of other films. Obviously Selma Blair. I can't think what other films she's been in, but I know she's from TV series called Anger Management with Charlie Sheen. She's in that. And yeah, now what I will say about this is it's a massive blockbuster, but I think it's one of those films where you think it's not as good as what it should be. It's sort of like a bit disappointing in some places, where it's not something where you think, oh yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. But it's sort of like it's all right, and it is a blockbuster, which I like blockbusters. But it's all one of those films we watch. You think, yeah, it's all right, but it's not as good as it should be. Sometimes a bit disappointing. But that being said, I mean, it's a good time. It's about 1:50. An hour and 50 minutes, I think, which is not bad time. The time is okay. It's all right all the way through. It's got some good action, a lot of good moments, and Ron Perlman does quite a good job as Hellboy. I think they picked the right person. And as I say, it has its moments where it's good, and the action scenes are right, but I think it's where I think it could be so much better. It's not. It's sort of like disappointing. Do you know what I mean? Sort of like, for example, the action scenes where it's sort of, I don't know, maybe sort of the movements with Hellboy could be better, and it's not as good as it should be. But it's all right for what it is. I like action and blockbuster films, so for what it is, it's all right. But it's just not as good as it could be. But the film is all right. It's got good action. Now, coming on to the second one, The Golden Army. Now, probably would say I don't think. Now, it says obviously fantastic action film of the year. I don't think it was. It might have been all right for the action film. I can't remember what was the action film of the year for 2008, but there was quite a few. I think it might have been. I mean, it might have been one of the best films of that year, but I don't think it was the best, the best one. And I don't think it's better than the first when I sum both up. I mean, it is good, and it is quite good all the way through, and it has got a lot of good moments and a lot of action. But I think again, probably not as good as the first, and again, a letdown where it could be so much better, but when it's not, sort of type thing. And in particular, the end scene. You think it's going to be, you know, Hellboy and his gang and a few others taking on a whole army, but then it sort of starts off alright, but then it's quite a disappointment where it doesn't really turn into a massive battle. It sort of turns into a one-on-one situation with Hellboy and the main villain, which, don't get me wrong, that the fight between Hellboy and the main villain is quite good, but when you think it's going to be, because it's the Golden Army, you think it's going to be one massive battle scene between an army, and then it sort of goes into a situation where you think it's going to be something, and then it turns out not to be that. So you're like, oh, quite disappointed by that. You think it's going to be one massive, huge battle, and it sort of, you know, it doesn't come to that. It just goes into one-on-one, the final battle, and it sort of doesn't feel like a massive climax to the end, just the one-on-one fight. It sort of ends. Hellboy wins, obviously, and then it's sort of, that's it. As to the rebooted one, it's sort of more of a climax, which we'll talk about in a minute. But yeah, it's all right, but you know, it's same situation as the one. I don't think it's as good as the first. It's a situation where it could be better than what it is. Now, coming on to the third. This is actually a really good reboot, and I would actually go out on a limb and say that it is actually better than them two, and I think it is a really good rebooted version, and it seems like it's more like how, as I say, I'm not really familiar with the comics or much about that, but I think to me it seems more like how it should be. It seems like it's just made really well, and they sort of, now I think they really did a good job of this. I've seen it quite a few times now, and I think, you know, every time I watch it, I think it's actually really good and better than those the other two, and it's just really good all the way through. Really good story. I like a lot of the scenes. The action is really good, a lot of the scenes are really good, and it seems like there's more, they sort of seem to have done more with the Hellboy character when he's moving around. He seems to like move around better, and the action seems a lot better. That's what I was talking about with those two, like, it's good but it could be better. This is sort of like how it's supposed to have been done, like, it's better, it just looks better, the action and that, and yeah, where he's moving about and the action scenes just looks really good. And yeah, a lot of the scenes are really good, and then the end is a more of a climax to it. There's a lot going on. There's like one huge battle, and then there's a lot more, you know, of a build up and more of a climatic scene to the end, where there's so much going on and a lot of action and a lot of things happening, rather as opposed to 2 and 1 where there's not really much going on at the end. But this is more, there's loads going on at the end. It's a really climatic battle where there's so much going on, and it is just really good all the way through. I think it's really good rebooted version, and it's just, yeah, it's just done really well, and it's just, yeah, I just think it's better. But yeah, there you go guys, that's my DVD Hellboy collection, and obviously thoughts that go with it. So that's pretty much the end of the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more vids, and I hope you guys enjoy this video. So I'll see you on the next one. Take care, thanks for watching, bye for now, see you guys soon.